hope I haven't muted. Otherwise, it's going to play through my speakers.
Yeah, I just muted it over here myself. Almost forgot.
Ah, there it is.
Yep.
Because you know what? Having it play through my speakers would have just been like the endless loop thing. And then it would be
Yeah.
endless loop of loopiness.
And we do not want that.
No. Hi, chat room. Hi, chat
everybody.
room. How are you doing? Sorry about the delay. It's trying to deal with all of the crazy tech stuff. I unplugged my camera for doing streaming, and then everything decides it wants to go to basically go to shit.
Yeah.
I had to change all my camera settings to try to like bring the color saturation out in the rings, and so when I plugged my camera back in, everything was like, I look like I was a clown with like big old rosy cheeks and stuff. It's like, what?
Oh, wow.
It was like super like uber saturated. Like super uber saturated. All right, I gotta tweet the deets.
Getting all my windows set up.
Got the thing. We are live. Awesome. Hi, chat room. Hi, Bim. How's it going? Happy New Year to everybody.
There
Hi,
we go.
Tiber.
Now I can see the chat.
There we go. Hi, guys. Happy New Year. Hi, Dad. Happy New Year.
Welcome to 2018.
I love how you throw your little boat in there every time, too. It's episode 255. 255. That is awesome. Let me do this. Twitch.tv. So we're doing this thing with Convert to Raid where we are creating, actually Jocelyn has created a stream team for Convert to Raid, and so all of the hosts of Convert to Raid, their shows are going to be on this stream team, which includes ours too. So
sweet.
So that we will be part of this grouping. So like anytime one of the shows is live, like there's a grouping like under it. We're not signed up for it quite yet because she has to like add us to the stream team, but then we're gonna have that in there, which would be really cool. We're like this super close to launching a brand new website for Convert to Raid, so I'm so excited. Like we're working on that, and it's just there's stuff happening. We've got like new things coming, and it's like it's awesome.
Awesome. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, that website is so sweet. It's so cool. They did a really good job on that website. So we're putting the finishing touches on it today. Hopefully it'll migrate over soon. Like super soon. Like the next day or two.
Ooh.
I know, it's so fancy. It's sort of awesome. So everybody in the chat room, how's it going? How's the everybody staying warm and blizzarded in? East Coasters, Dad, how much snow do you guys have? Do you know? I talked to him this afternoon. They had like 8 inches of snow already.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wish we'd have snow. It's just been cold and dry here.
Cold and dry.
Yeah.
We have so much like annoying snow on the ground. It's like everything's snow covered, but it's like iced over because it's so cold. So it's so annoying. And we had like another little snowfall a couple days ago, and everything got iced over again because it dropped below, like way below zero again. And it's so annoying. So annoying indeed. So, oh my gosh, episode 255. 255. Oh, and this is the best thing. Like, I gave Marcona a nice little surprise where he could hear. Let's do this one.
Trifling gnome, Your
There you go.
arrogance will be your undoing.
Chat room, you could hear the sound or two. Let's make sure. I'm sure you can. You should be able to hear it.
Please tell us you hear it, please.
12 degrees, very cold and windy. Oh, 12 inches.
Or 12 inches, yeah.
12 inches! Holy moly! Dang, Dad. I'm sorry, because that sucks. That's a lot of snow for you guys. That's awesome. Yeah. So, oh, your mom's here too. Yay. Kratos!
What's up,
How's it
Kratos?
going? Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, I mean, we haven't had the snow like you guys have, so God, 12 inches of snow. That means basically the state of New Jersey will be closed down for at least 2 days, if not more. Approximately 3 degrees right now. Ugh. Right now it's -3 in Minnesota, but at least it's clear and it's not windy and it's not raining and it's not snowing. Well, it wouldn't rain here, so.
Yeah, it's 28 here.
That's cold for you guys.
Yeah. Well, the other day when it was in the single digits, that was... Eesh.
I know, and you don't like have the heavy parkas and the hats and the gloves and the scarves and stuff.
Well, I've got the heavy coat, but that's it. I don't have the hoods or the gloves. I use work gloves, but they are not insulated at all. So they just, at least it's something. So my hand doesn't stick to like the gas pump or anything like that.
Yeah. My Connecticut relatives never believe their winters are sometimes worse than ours. Yeah, I know. It's true. The East Coast gets really shitty stuff that comes through sometimes, like the storm they're just dealing with right now. It sucks. I mean, it sucks. So, okay. So since we were late coming on for just a little bit, we're going to do a ready check and get this show on the road. Let's ready check, you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Wow, I hit the wrong one. Sorry.
Yeah.
What? Where's ready check? Oh. Okay, so ready check is S. The one I just hit was 5. This is how my brain is working right now. I don't know how I did that.
Well, I mean, to be fair, on my keyboard, they look identical.
Yeah, well,
it's just their placement
like
that's
S
different.
and 5 is, it's funny.
Yeah.
Edit and post. Well, we're still in pre-show, Grano, so I'm okay with that. That all just gets chopped right off of there.
Yeah, we'll be all right.
It should be a big old chop. Big old chop.
Oh.
Y'all ready? Y'all ready for a pull? Looks like y'all ready.
First show of a new year.
You sound like you're prepubescent with that voice.
Hi, guys. Welcome to 2018.
I'm used to a certain show that doesn't edit and where I drop the F. Which show was that? Who was that?
I don't know.
I'm trying to think of who that was. Who doesn't edit?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Gotta wait for delay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait for the delay to catch up. Too funny. All right. Marconin, are you ready to roll?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Chat room's ready to roll. Let's do the thing with the stuff. Episode 255 of Tauren Think Tank. I've got the date right on here. Yes, I do. Begins in 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to Tauren Think Tank, the podcast about the Blizzard gamer behind the keyboard.
It's episode 255 of Tauren Think Tank. Today is Thursday, January 4th of 2018. I didn't change that in the document, but I thought about it after it was done. I just changed it on the fly. My name is Jules. We are back for another year in 2018, my dears. We have made it to the year. Is it the year of the dog? I think it's the year of the dog.
Yes.
It is. And with me, as always, with the dulcet tones, saying yes in the background, is Marconin. Hi, Marconin.
Hello, Jules, and welcome to the world of tomorrow.
I just thought of Disney, the land of tomorrow. Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
Tomorrowland. Yes.
Yes. Welcome to 2018, everybody. It is good to be back a new year for the Triple T and the Moo Crew. So It is awesome to be back. It's awesome to get us started on this wonderful year of doing what we do best.
That is true. I mean, this year has definitely started out with some tumultuousness with our world. I mean, it's 4 days in, and okay, but we're here to hopefully provide some reprieve, but also some food for thought. I mean, I'll say it right up front. This show is most likely going to be quite heavy and quite deep in discussion. I mean, we're hitting the hard topics right off the bat. But that's what we do, and that's what we do well. So we're going to do it because that's what you ask us to do. So, we had planned on doing a show, during the break between Christmas and New Year's, like more people are off. And we didn't. And a lot of you probably have seen it, but if you are not a social media user, and not someone who kind of checks those outlets often, you may not know why we didn't do a show. So I'm going to start off and just say, I was prepping. We had plans to do the show. We had put together Tell Us One Thing questions. Mark Conan came up with them. We sent them out. We were ready to roll. And I just probably right after Christmas, I hit the lowest point. I can't even tell you. It's hard to put it into words what it was. It was like this dark cloud had come into my space, and the only thing I had was this darkness. It was so weird. It was so unnerving, and it was so scary. And this is when it gets real, I had to admit that I was really badly depressed. It was so hard. It was so hard to think about even coming on the podcast and doing what we do every day or every week when I knew that I was not in a state of mind to just be there. And it was like I was trying so hard to be there. I was trying so hard to be okay that I was not okay. And I reached out for some help to my family. I actually sent a message to Dr. Holiday Bean, our friend, and I just said I need to talk to somebody. And I'm really, really glad that I did. Because as I admitted that I couldn't do the show because I just wasn't in that state of mind, and that I admitted that I was really badly depressed over the loss of Spike and having that lead up to it, because I knew it was going to happen, and it happened over the holidays, which is like the second whammy that I've been hit on during the holidays in the last 2 years. It was like it was enough. Enough was enough. And I had to say that I wasn't in a good state of mind. And that killed me. That was really hard to do. And I felt like I failed. I felt like I had failed the audience. I had failed my community. I had failed me, my friends, because I wasn't strong enough to do it by myself anymore. And it was actually the absolute right thing for me to do. Because as soon as I admitted that I was having a problem, and as soon as I admitted that I needed help and I got some help right away, everything changed. And I heard from so many of you on social media and private messages text messages from friends. And it was everything I needed to like just kind of let it go and just say, you know what, you really, really, really have to deal with this now. Like, you can't just pretend everything's okay and put on your smiley face and do the show and just, you know, muscle through and stand strong. And but I didn't know that at this time. I didn't know that I was gonna have such a wonderful outpouring of support, because that's the thing that happens with depression, is that it lies to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then
it's really good at it.
Yeah. It tells you that nobody cares. It tells you that you don't matter. It tells you that you're just not good enough to get through it on your own. You know, it's horrible stuff that you hear in your head.
Mm-hmm.
So after admitting it, I had a really, really bad night after that. Didn't sleep hardly at all. Emotionally, just completely out of, you know, just off anchor, I guess is the way to put it. It felt like I was off anchor. And then I got to the next day and I kind of just muscled through the day with what I could, but I had no big responsibilities. And then I slept. And I slept through the night, and I woke up on the next day and I felt like I had released it. You know, I'd released the pain. I'd released all of the responsibility that I felt like I had on myself. And so many messages, like so many, I couldn't even count them all, and tried my best to get back to everybody to say thank you. And every day it got a little bit easier. And so that's why I can do a show tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Is because I admitted that I was not doing okay. And would I say that I'm 100% right now? No. But I came back up feeling stronger than I have in a long time. And more motivated and more inspired. And, you know, because if you feel like that level of darkness, that blackness that comes over when the light starts to come back in, everything looks so much brighter again.
I hear you there. Yeah.
You know,
I definitely know what you're talking about. You
just have this
absolutely
new appreciation for things that you didn't have before.
Mm-hmm.
That maybe you just kind of, they were there, they were just part of you. But once you've come back out of that darkness, it just feels different. It feels so much more important. Or maybe not as important, like the stuff that doesn't matter as much as you thought it did, you know?
Yeah. You get a different point of view, kind of.
Yeah. So
different outlook, I guess.
So my creative mind has been flowing. I started streaming again. My chainmail work, which has been incredible. I made a goal for myself to put myself out there and never actively try to cut myself off from people again, because it saved that, like, that whole thing just saved me through it. And you know, so my message to you all tonight, as we get into our topic later, is that you are never alone, even when you feel like you are, even when you feel like you're suffering in silence. And it was like, this was an incredibly life-changing series of weeks for me. Incredibly. I feel like I'm I'm still me. I just feel like I'm stronger, you know, and, you know, more vulnerable and more willing to speak up, you know, or to not to not brush things off anymore, or, you know, it's like if it needs to be dealt with, then it needs to be dealt with. And so I know that was like a really long explanation of what happened in the last like 2 weeks, but I wanted to share that with the audience because you guys have been here with us. Some of you have been with us since the very beginning. Mm-hmm. Since before Mark Honan was a part of this show. Since before since we began. And some of you have been with us for a shorter time, but you are just as important and as we go through life and as we go through doing this show, we have to demonstrate as podcasters that we go through the same things that you do. Like,
oh yeah,
it's just like we're living this life just as you are, and there's nothing that puts you below us or us above you. Yeah. So, you know, if I can admit the fact that I was feeling broken down and sad, and, you know, it was not to the point where I was ready to like do something drastic, but it was definitely a darkness that I haven't felt in a very long time. If ever. I don't know if it ever has gotten that dark. Which is scary. And some people deal with that their entire lives as chronic depression. And a lot of people don't know what that feels like. And so if we can help even the playing field a little bit for people who do or don't know, I think that's a good thing. So there we are. That is why we did not have a show last week. I apologized on Twitter, and I had a lot of people that told me I should not feel like I have to apologize. And the only apology that I have is that I know that you rely on us to create content and you look forward to it. And that's my apology, is that we were not able to provide that for you. But the understanding is there. I know it's there. So, absolutely. So, now that I have been monologuing for the last 10 minutes, what is going on with you, Conan? How are you?
Oh, I'm run ragged.
Yeah.
But I'm doing all right. Work's been taking up most of my day. I'll be honest. I've been working, almost 12-hour days every day that I've been working.
Yikes.
And it's been really rough, but me enjoying the job helps me get through it. But it saps all my time. Like I've had very, very little free time. But compared to last year when I felt that same darkness she did this holiday season, I felt it really similarly. It's a lot better this year.
Yeah, it was last year.
Yeah. Yeah, last year. But if it's a lot better this year, because my job is a little more enjoyable, and that does help. So yeah, mostly it's good. It's been just a lot of work. Mm-hmm. I did get to raid on New Year's Day, down to an extra boss, which is cool. So nice. Slowly making progress. So, and really enjoying really enjoying Antorus. Bleh. Feels easy. It feels. I know it's normal, and yay casuals. I don't care. It's fun, and we're making progress. So that's all I care about. But yeah, that's just that, and it's cold down here. I know it's much colder up there where you are, Jules, but we had to bring in the outside cat because it's getting into the single digits and the teens for the last few days, which is fun for my two inside girls to adjust to. So
we heard a little bit of a war in the pre-show, like before we went on. There was a war going on in his house.
There's little skirmishes. You'll hear them bump around and hiss. They haven't done anything since the show started, so fingers crossed it'll wait till we're done. But
And these
But
microphones are directional microphones, so it would have to be pretty darn loud to be picked up on these mics. And I heard it like it was in the next to him, so it was a little loud.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're we're letting them kind of fight it out and adjust, and and once it warms up, we may put her back outside because she really does like being an outside cat. It's just too cold for her outside now, though. So yeah, that's. Oh man, mostly work stuff has just been taking up a lot of my recent time for the holidays and stuff with the nature of the job, but it's going good. I finally got approved all my time off for PAX South next weekend.
Holy crap! It's next weekend.
It's next weekend, yeah. Wow. So I'm prepping for that, trying to get all the travel stuff. Woo! It's coming up.
Wow.
I'm still nervous.
Yeah.
But yeah, should be okay. So I'm looking forward to it. So if you are going PAX South, we're speaking me and Dr. and Mrs. Dr. Holiday Bean. Sorry.
Doctors.
Doctors.
The Doctor's Bean.
The Doctor's Bean and Joel Christensen we're talking on Sunday afternoon at PAX South. So it'll be third year straight. So looking forward to going back there and enjoying it, and maybe grabbing some Scotch eggs while I'm there. We'll see.
Awesome.
And I know a few people are coming, so if you are coming, please say hi. Please come.
Definitely.
It'll be great to see you all there. And of course, I'll be doing some recording of it so that y'all can hear it later on. So
yes. Marconin is going by himself. I am not going this year, so you get to see him. Unfortunately, I will not be able to say hi to people, but please make sure that you seek him out if you are going, because it'll be a great time.
I'd love to see you.
Yes.
But yeah, that's about it for me lately.
Awesome.
Just really inundated
with work and other stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, I don't think we have really any announcements yet. We are, Mark Conan and I have some really good ideas for our Patreon coming up. We've talked about a couple of different things. We have some good plans for it. We will be staying on the platform after they've decided to keep their fee structure the way it was. So stay tuned for that. We'll talk more about that as things go along. Sounds good. So let's get into our discussion topic of the week. And we'll play, let's do this sounder.
Let's kick around some... ideas, not gnomes.
Disclaimer before we begin to this discussion, this is a sensitive topic. And so if you have some little ones in the car with you, if you're traveling, family and that kind of thing, you may want to hold this one off until you can listen alone or in a place where it's a little bit safer. We are talking about suicide tonight. So just wanted to disclaim that up front. And as always, Mark Conan and I are not professional experts on this topic at all. We are here to give our advice and our personal thoughts on the issue, but we are in no way a replacement for professional help. So
can't stress that enough.
Yes. So that is the one thing that I want to make sure that we talk about. And I will also say that if you are someone or you know someone who is thinking about suicide or has mentioned it or is just having a really tough time and needs some help, please do call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 800-273-8255. Okay. We got a letter from Broken Bones, aka Rob, and he shared the some information and some thoughts that he had actually that his sister had shared. So I'm going to read this. I want to share something my sister wrote and posted to Facebook. Perhaps this may help others cope in this situation. I was 11 and my sister was 13. December 18th of 1987. 30 years ago tomorrow was the day my childhood ended and my innocence was lost. I was 13, and it was the day my dad lost his long battle with mental illness. It was the day he took his life. The death of a close loved one is one of the hardest times to endure, but a death by suicide is beyond description. It is soul-crushing and leaves you haunted for the rest of your days as a survivor. The primary goal of suicide is not death, but to end pain. This took me many years to understand this. Significant depression reduces one's problem-solving skills, and corrosive thinking patterns reduces optimism and increases the feeling of helplessness. The depressive illness makes it all but impossible to hold on to any thought that this feeling will ever go away. Many people believe that suicide is a choice, as I did for most of my life. I now believe that there was no choice due to severe depression. Choices were all but eliminated for him. I have lived with guilt that I could have somehow prevented it, or that if I were a better person or worthy of more love, this would have not happened. I have felt anger, even rage. I've felt rejected and abandoned. I've spent years feeling responsible for this for no logical reason. You question your memories instead of remembering the good times. Were my childhood memories good, or did I misinterpret them? Were we happy? I thought we were, but maybe I was wrong. Do I know what happiness is even? Was my childhood all a ruse? And of course, there is the PTSD, the sadness, the pain, the numbness, the flashbacks. Oh, the flashbacks, they never go away. For every life lost to suicide, there are many survivors of suicide. 1 million Americans have taken their life since my dad took his. So there are millions and millions of survivors alive today. We are not alone. We are not responsible. We will never be the same, but we will survive. Thank you for reading my story. You have to share to heal, and like many survivors, I don't do that for fear of judgment. So as I grieve 30 years later, I know that there is healing in sharing, and I know that the story of my journey may help others who have my same loss. And first of all, Rob, I'm so sorry for your loss, for your sister's loss.
Absolutely.
I think I said this on this show before. When I was 13, I had an uncle who committed suicide. And I absolutely understand, like, just that devastation that happens to a family after it happens. And what happens after, like the aftermath of that. And it's just, I mean, we've had, like, there's so much right now relevant in the news to this, because we as a society are passing, I was going to say passing judgment, but I don't want to use that terminology. We're forced to try to make sense of the fact that someone who has a very large following on YouTube, Logan Paul, who of course I'd never even heard of Logan Paul before this whole thing happened.
Yeah.
I didn't know who he was.
I knew who he was, but I knew enough of him not to watch.
Because it wasn't your thing, yeah.
Wasn't my thing. It wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah. If you haven't heard the story, this famous YouTuber, very, very popular, multi-million-dollar, YouTube star, went to Japan, and he went to, I'm going to butcher the name of it, but I think it's the Akagara Forest. Akagara Forest, which is...
something like that.
It's kind of slangily named the Suicide Forest because it is the place where... it's a place where many, many Japanese citizens go to end their lives. And it's, and so this YouTuber went into the woods with his camera and started to do a vlog walking through the woods. And he came across a person who had hung themselves and filmed that with his friends, laughing, joking, freaking out, making it like a big deal that he found a dead body in the woods. And thank you, Kranos. Aokigahara. Is that I did that worse.
Aokigahara.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
thank you.
Something like that.
Thank you for the phonetic pronunciation, though. And he and the backlash was severe. It was loud, and
it was immediate,
and there were celebrities that were coming out to speak about it. And it's become this kind of social discussion about the insensitivity of today's culture when it comes to depression and suicide.
Mm-hmm.
And, we got this letter from Rob, and it's just like there's a conversation here, Marcone, and that's what we said. There's a conversation to be had here.
Yeah. And there's a lot of different things we can touch on. My biggest thing with this Logan Paul thing is this kid who has everything in the world doesn't really understand what they're doing within the bigger scope of their life. They see this person who is no longer a person, but who was a person and had all this potential for their life, and for whatever the reason decided to end their life, and he makes light of it. He doesn't understand the gravity of it, the value of human life, and what that person was. There was a weight, there was a value to them, and to just make light of it is, it depends on your worldview. It depends on what you think a life is, what you think matters, and that's your thing. But with all the backlash, I think that there was a line that he did cross, and I agree he crossed it. He's crossed a lot of crossed a lot of lines.
Oh, absolutely.
With it.
And there's the sad part about it, where there's been so many people who have defended his decision to create this vlog, to put it up there. Don't be so upset about it. Not, it's not a big deal, blah, blah, blah. And honestly, I mean, for me, what comes out of all of this discussion is the fact that we are becoming a more callous and insensitive society overall.
Mm-hmm. We are.
It makes me really sad.
Yeah. And you can chalk it up to whatever you want to. Like, I gotta be honest, I've heard of optimistic nihilism, and that's a scary thing.
Yeah.
Like the outlook, like nothing matters. The eventual heat death of the universe. I don't believe in any existential thing. It's materialistic. All I am is atoms and electrons and memories. And once I'm gone, I'm gone. Yeah. Well, then what's the point of life? What's the point of anything? Nothing matters. And then they take it to the logical end of their argument, of their worldview. And yeah, they can make light of it, like nothing matters. Everything in the world's great. And this is just my opinion, guys. I know maybe some of you out there might be like this, and that's okay. But to me, that is cold. It is dead. And it may be right. I don't know, but it's not good for a cohesive society. You cannot have a cohesive society built on not caring, on not putting value in other people, not caring for your fellow man. That's essential for a species to survive, is not only procreating, but loving your brother and sister, loving the people around you and caring for them. That's why in that forest there are so many signs saying, hey, you don't have to. And I've seen they've referenced in the chat room a documentary on it. I saw a Vice documentary on it a long time ago. There are signs throughout this forest saying, please don't do this. You are valued. You are a human being. We care about you. Please come back. Mm-hmm. And it means so much to them to pull them out of that, and for him to make so much light of it. It really shows the disconnect of their worldviews and what he puts value in. He may not even realize it. He may be caught up in his fame and his money and all that stuff. But I think this will give him some pause, and I really hope it does turn him around in the way he thinks about the world. But it's so easy to fall into this materialistic, vain, a lot of kids, they just want to be famous.
Right.
They don't care. They don't really care about going to school to finish their degrees, to do these things, to put value in the long haul of life. They just want to be famous. They want clicks. They want views. They want likes. They want retweets. And they don't know the value that they have in their own body, in their own mind, and the people around them. Mm-hmm. They're searching for things out there that are as fleeting as the wind. And they don't care about the things that really should matter in their life, the lives of their family, and, good Lord, the society as a whole.
Yeah. When you think
Sorry
about
for the rants.
No, this is the stuff that is out there right now, and what you're saying is true. The thing that's hard for me to understand is how, when you break it down to everything, it becomes a worldview versus a personal, like kind of like blinders view, right? Because if you are someone who thinks in a worldly sense, you think of others. You think of others' experiences. You think of what they go through, you know, how hard it must be for them. You know, the people that connect with us every day have worldviews because they're like, you know, they get invested in what we're doing in our lives, you know, in what others are doing in their lives. And, you know, it's not just about what they're going through and what they're doing and what they want to accomplish and that kind of thing. Now, yes, we are all narcissistic in certain ways because we do focus on ourselves. We have to. It's been New Year's Eve. Right. I mean, we just got past like New Year's where we're sitting there going, what's my goals for 2018? What's my purposes? What's my, you know, you do that. Like, that's okay. But what happens when we think about things from a completely blinders perspective of yourself only, just me only, is exactly what happens and why we have people like Logan Paul making millions of dollars. It doesn't matter what happens to anybody else. He does it for the laughs, and the people who watch it do it because they think it's funny to watch other people suffer. Really, that's what it is. Like, if he's an annoying piece of crap that goes out there and does things to annoy people for laughs, the people that, like, I wouldn't watch that crap. I don't think that's funny. I don't think that's amusing or entertaining or anything. It bothers me, so I don't watch it. The people that do watch it either, like, believe that, I believe, or they're just looking for some kind of escape out of their own crappy existences, and they want to watch the misfortune of others. That's the Schadenfreude in there, and they just want to, like, you know, feel better about themselves because someone else has it shittier than them. And I look at it, I see the world in such a different way. I didn't always see it in this way when I was younger, and this is normal. When you're younger, you're very narcissistic. You know, you don't think about other people as much. You're just not. It's just like, it's a me thing. And I remember when I was younger, like, every single person was an asshole. Like, I really, that was the thing. I really felt like that a lot of times when I was younger, where and you hear that term, like, if you've been spending your entire day running into assholes everywhere you go, maybe it's not them who are the assholes, you know? And when I started to, like, when you realize that, when you're just, like, bitching about, you know, about the person in line that did this, or the guy that cut you off on the freeway, or, you know, like today, the lady who couldn't make an appointment for me after 5 tries for a doctor, you know, I didn't get on social media and rant about it. I was just like, oh gosh, okay, she's having a tough time, and I'm just gonna let her do her thing, and I'm just not gonna deal with it right now. But narcissistic me would have gone on social media, and I would have said, this idiot, blah, 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 blah. Or I would have just said, you know, bitch to my friends about how this idiot couldn't do this. And, you know, I'm surrounded by idiots. How many people have you known that say those kinds of things, right?
Yeah. And didn't we touch on this a while back about when you spread things like that on social media, it reinforces it and actually makes it worse as if you had just let it go? And,
like, you've just perpetuated it.
Yeah. Yeah. You hold on to it when you don't really need to. I remember we talked about that.
We did. We talked about that with Wendy Dunford. And so my point being is that my view in life is I'm very much somebody who thinks about a lot of what other people are going through. And even I'm not perfect with that. Like, you know, if someone's really trolly or obnoxious or really mean to people, I tend to kind of go with the jerk reaction to say, oh, what an idiot, or what a jerk, or what a troll. And I've had people who have been doing that to me in the past, and I've talked to them about it, and then it turned out they were very different than what I thought they actually were, because we got under the surface a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
Got under there a little bit and figured them out a little bit more and understood where they were coming from. But I honestly, I'm going to be Pollyanna about this. I feel like the way that we start changing the world is by treating each other with more compassion and love, to make people care about what other people are going through, to help them connect. You know, there are a lot of people that won't be able to listen to this episode because it's too raw, it's too real, it's too scary. We're talking about something that is devastating. We're talking about someone taking their own life. We're talking about something that is, it's not pretty, it's not shiny, it's real and raw and hard. But we're talking about it because there are a lot of people out there who suffer either through the depression that's causing them to feel like taking their own life, or they are the survivors of those who made that decision.
Mm-hmm.
And that is not pretty or shiny or happy, but it's real.
No, it's not. It's and this, it's such a hard thing to talk about because I have, I don't have a family member that's done that, but I've almost done it.
Yeah.
Like when I was younger and I was the kind of the fat nerd kid that got picked on a lot in school, of course you're too young to really understand the impact of your decisions. But I mean, even recently I felt this way because I'm not very, I'll be honest, I'm not very nice to myself a lot of the times because I think I just, I only see what's inside my own head. And sometimes that, like she was saying, the darkness can really kind of come in. And even as recently as a year ago, driving home from work, there's a lot of woods over there. They probably wouldn't find me for a few days. That might be better. I could do that. I could just go away because I'm a lot better when I'm not here than being here.
Yeah.
That's what my mind tells. That's what my mind tells me.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets better sometimes, but I have my moments where you get reflective on your own life and impact you've made on other people, good, bad, either one, but the bad ones scream louder than the good ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they stack up against you and they make you feel worthless and that you aren't worth the dirt you're made of. Yeah. And that you just shouldn't carry on because you're better, world's better. It's kind of goes back to that nihilism idea. Like nothing matters. It starts to win the battle in my own mind. And that's what I'm saying with that point of view is, the way you look at the world and what you believe in you may not think it makes an impact on your life, but if you get out of your own brain and you think your way through to what do you believe and what do you think of the world and where does that take you? And if that's a place you want to go, then okay. If it's not, something may be different. And it's still a battle for me. Because sometimes I do feel like the worst piece of crap in the world. I know I'm not. I know, you don't have to tweet me or anything because that's why I don't talk about this stuff online because y'all don't, I don't care to, it's just, I talked about that a while ago where, y'all don't need to know all of my problems. Yeah. Every little thing like, oh man, like you were talking just the regular person, like, oh, somebody cut me off in traffic.
Right.
Y'all don't care about that. It's okay. I don't want to hold on to it in that way and throw it out on the internet because the random bots that follow me sometimes that I try to block, they don't care. But I tell you, last year when it got really bad, I called my mom.
Good.
And I talked to her about it.
Good. And
that did help. I'm sorry I'm getting emotional, guys.
Don't be sorry. This is an emotional thing. And, and I'll be honest, like, you don't share a whole lot of this stuff personally, and I know that because it's hard.
And
but it's real. It's real.
Yeah.
And that that is the thing that you have to remember is that it's real and that it's you and that you're still here. And I can't, like, I'm looking for this and I can't find it right now. somebody's going to know what this is. Someone sent this to me. It was a YouTube video of a popular YouTuber that deals with chronic pain, severe pain, and depression. And they sent it to me when I posted that I was having a really tough time. And I watched the video because she talks about building a bridge. The story, I'm going to kind of TLDR it a little bit, but she had gotten to a point where she felt that it was better to just end it. And she thought very long and hard about it and started to make plans to do so. And in the thought process of it, she said to herself, if you're just willing to leave it all now, if you're willing to end it all, then what does it matter if you do anything you want to?
Mm-hmm.
What is it, if you're at that point, if you are at that level to say, I'm ready to check out, then there's no fear of trying something that you maybe want to do. And she called it building a ladder or a bridge, where every time she did something, it built a rung on the ladder to step up out of the hole. And that really resonated with me, because if you think about it from a perspective of like driving past some woods and saying, I could just end it all and people would be better for it. If you are thinking of that, if you think of it from a perspective of this is, I don't really have much else to go forward with. So what's the harm in trying something that you're afraid you might fail at? Like, if you're going to do that, then what's the harm in failing in something that you might fail at? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was just this, like, I don't know, it really resonated with me. And it really took me to a place to say, if I'm not afraid, like, I didn't get to a point where I felt like I wanted to end things this last week. I didn't get there, but I could see it. I could see how it felt for someone to get there. Like, I could understand it better than I think I could have ever understood it before. And it just, that whole statement really did change a lot for me.
Yeah.
And you rebuild out of it. And so like for the last week, every day I tried to do a little bit more. I was dealing with the grief of losing Spike. I saw that Garrus was sniffing around the beds that Spike used to sleep in, that Garrus never slept in. But that was only Spike stuff. And so one day I had the strength to pick it up off the floor and put it in the closet so he wouldn't sniff it. And to make him feel better and to make me feel better. And I mean, it doesn't sound like much. I picked a damn cat bed off of the floor, but it meant a lot for me to do that.
Well, it has meaning. It has, it's more than that to you. It's kind of a symbol.
Yeah, it's symbolic, yes. But on the outside, someone could say that was just Jules picking up a cat bed off the floor and putting it in a closet. Yeah. And if you can ascribe meaning to the things that you're doing, to say, hey, I got up today and I took a shower, which is probably something I hadn't done in a couple days because I didn't feel like I could. That means something, These are things that ascribing meaning to makes a difference. I feel like we're so afraid to reach out to each other, to people for help. I mean, it probably took a monumental effort for you to pick up the phone and call your mother to tell her, I feel this way.
Yeah, it got pretty bad.
Yeah.
It got pretty bad.
Yeah.
Didn't see it was pretty much those two doors to go through.
Yeah. Everybody's door is different.
Yeah.
Everybody's door to get out or to start the process to heal is different. But we are here for each other. I think that's the thing that we need to say in our world, is that we are here for each other, and we will take the time to send someone a private message if you've connected with them and you feel like they just need to know how much you care about them. Even if they don't know you very well, but you've really appreciated them or what they've said, and you see that they're having a tough time. I mean, I can't tell you how helpful that was. You know, my parents texted me every day during that process to make sure, how am I doing? How is it going? You know, it takes effort to be a friend, but it doesn't take a lot of effort. And so if you know, if we can do something in this world to spread more compassion and love to each other, I think that could make a significant difference.
It's a lot of little steps that'll make that difference.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
You know, it's words and actions.
Yeah.
Both together.
One of our former guests on the show, Kelly White, has said on her podcast in the past, is like, we are meant as creatures to be with other people. Like, there's the few lone wolves out there that will literally live in solitude in the woods someplace, and, like, you know, they're the out ends of the bell curve. But for the most part, as humans, we crave to be as part of a circle, a society, a family, a connection, a network, all of the words you can use to connect us, to bind us.
Yeah.
That we crave that. We look for that. We seek that. And so, and a lot of us, you know, may not have the perfect family, or, you know, maybe you don't have a lot of friends, but we want to connect with each other. That is the thing we want to do, as a survival instinct, I would say too. Like, like, we seek that. We want to connect with people, and it wrecks us when we are isolated. You know, that is why people are punished by being put in solitary confinement. In jails. Like, they punish people by putting them alone for, you know, a good portion of their entire day, for long blocks of time. That's punishment. Nobody wants that. You don't want to go to solitary. There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
So, but our brains, when we are depressed, are doing a really good job of putting ourselves in solitary confinement.
Yeah, they are.
So hard. It's so hard. And so, you know, like Mark Honan did, like I did, if you are suffering from depression, from anxiety, from, you know, suicidal thoughts, you can reach out for help. I can. Because it saved Mark Honan. I'm going to go on a limb and say that, but I think that's true. It saved you. It saved me. It saved millions of people. We can do this. And that's why the suicide hotline exists as well. That's why it's even there. And I'll repeat that number, which is 800-273-8255. I think that's important to repeat, because if you are listening to this and you think that you need to talk to somebody, that's what they're there for.
Yeah, they've got them there, and they're only the phone call away.
That's right. Is there anything else that you wanted to add to this conversation?
Just that I still feel for you, Rob, and your sister. for what happened with your dad. I know it hasn't gotten any easier.
Time makes it, time passes and life moves forward. It'll always be there.
It'll still be there, yeah.
Yeah.
And like you said, like they said in the letter, flashes of rage, of just, all these different, did I remember my childhood correctly? And it's really, it's made an imaginably huge impact on your lives.
Oh, of course.
And it's just, and I really feel for both of y'all. And that's, even in the darkest times, you can't, it's hard for me to think of other people because I don't, it does, when you get depressed, you push them away because you feel like they're better off, and you don't consider what happens to others if you go like that. And, it's just such a, it's such a wrench thrown into the way that we're supposed to be.
Right.
Like being built into our DNA to be social, to have others around us, and to be this community. It feels to me like it's just a big, it really is, it's not the way it should be. Stuff shouldn't get to you that badly.
No.
Save from somebody who has been close to that.
Yeah.
And battles with it sometimes. And just, I really, really feel for both of you guys.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And there is always support available. Our chat room is a wonderful place. Our Discord is available too, for these wonderful, compassionate people that come to our chat room every week. And the link to our Discord, if you want to get there, is tinyurl.com/tttchat too. We're open to be able to share your stories, to share your thoughts. And of course, if you would like to do so privately, you can always email us, send us a direct message, that kind of thing. So we thank you for a very difficult, very private, and very important conversation to have. And, if you are here listening to this episode, we still want you to be here tomorrow and the next day and the next day.
Absolutely.
Okay. Deep breath.
Mm-hmm.
Deep breath. We're going to lighten the mood a little bit, I think, and do some tell us one thing questions, laugh a little bit, have some fun, and we'll do our thing. So let's do that right now.
We read your submissions because reading your mind would just be creepy.
Marconin had these lovely questions created this week. Well, actually it was for last week, but so that's why it's a little bit topical, but we're still technically right outside the new year, so it works.
I got wished Happy New Year today at work, so we're still in the window.
My dad's in the chat room right now, and I swear to you, my dad will wish people Happy New Year through this weekend, most likely, because it's still technically the new year, and that's what he does, right, Dad? So,
well, this is the first Thursday of the new year.
Exactly.
The first Friday, the first Saturday.
It fits.
Yeah.
So
you're good.
I always laughed about that. My dad would wish people Happy New Year for at least 5 days after the new year. We're at 4 days after it, so.
Well, you don't see everybody on the first.
You don't.
You know?
All right. So the question was, where do you want to ring in the new year the most? It can be anywhere. Did you have like a specific place in mind when you made this question up?
Well, a couple of, I've always wanted to see it celebrated on other parts of the world, other different cultures and stuff. But I guess there's really three kind of. Times Square for me, just because it's so iconic. I'd like to do it just once, just to say I did it. I know it's going to be cold and I'll be standing there for hours, and hopefully I haven't drank any water or anything because I'm just standing there for hours and hours and hours. But it's cliche. It's the thing. One day I'd like to do that. The other two are one is Sydney. I'd love to go to Australia anyway and see there the fireworks by the Opera House. Also, I think it's like Christmas Island it's the first it's the first place past the international date line. So technically, they're the first people to see the new year.
Oh, that's cool.
So just to be there, to be like the first people in the new year, I think that's kind of I'm a geography nerd. It's what my minor was. So I'm kind of, it's one of those things.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's kind of, those are mine. I mean, a couple cliche ones, but I would love to go all just everywhere. The answer is everywhere. What about you?
I would like to celebrate the New Year in some place that is actually warm for New Year's instead of cold. Yeah. Because I've spent pretty much every New Year in a cold climate. So I guess that would be to go going out to like Australia or something like that and be there during their summer to do that. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah. You used to wave in the New Year from there, hi.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I know it's 11 a.m. on the East Coast, but Happy New Year, or whatever the time difference is.
It's pretty awesome to be we're Happy New Year. You guys are still getting up for the day. Good luck. Bye. Yeah, I didn't even stay up for New Year's this year. I was nope, going to bed. And woke up. I was everybody's Happy New Year. Oh, cool. Good night.
Yeah.
We asked you guys what you had to say about this. GDSMGL agrees with you and says Times Square or somewhere nearby so that we could see everything.
Oh, yeah. And Nymeria941 says this year in my new hometown of Seattle. Ooh. Any year thereafter, I don't really mind where I am as long as I'm with loved ones. That's a good answer.
That's a good answer. Kaya Finn says my living room with a few close friends playing card games and talking. We raise a glass to our friendship at the New Year and toast the hope of better times ahead. That's
what I did this year for New Year's.
Yeah.
Pretty much down to the leather. Kaya Finn, were you in the room? Were you there and didn't say hi? That's pretty much exactly what I was doing. Come on. Draven Dresden says, to me, with whom is more important than where? That said, I'd love to see it in a lot of different places like London, Paris, Athens, Tokyo, etc. Definitely agree with you there.
Yeah. Zafira says if I could spend it in space, somehow I would.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that would be cool. Sylvie says at home in a comfy PJs and the TV on, boggling at all the cold people on TV.
Yeah. No wanting to be cold out there. Nope. Haster said at the sauna/spa getting a relaxing warm stone massage. Okay, I'm down with that.
That sounds pretty good. That's a good answer, Haster. At Chilvada says on a beach somewhere warm with my husband and a fire with friends and family.
Yes, I'd do beach. That'd be awesome. Yep. And Vashta said London or basically anywhere where the air doesn't hurt my face. Yeah.
These are all excellent answers. We didn't have a bad one.
No.
Also, Solomio in the chat room said the best celebration I did was the Chinese New Year in Beijing.
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That would be cool. It goes back to the different culture thing.
Yeah.
It'd be nice.
Then we get into, I guess this was kind of more on the goal setting side, the reflection side.
Yeah.
Yeah. So question 2 is, what lesson did you learn this year?
Second chances are awesome because they make you appreciate things.
Yep.
And I could do better at communicating with people. Those are my lessons.
Okay.
I've had those lessons for most of the years.
Yeah. I know.
That's like a year-long thing.
Yeah. I mean, mine was very much the timely occurrence around the holidays for me, which is that you never have to suffer alone. And that, being strong and standing fast and, muscling through and all of that kind of thing is great, but it doesn't fix what's wrong. It doesn't fix the problem. And, that was a really strong and very loudly heard lesson this year. So I will run with that one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And GDS MGL says his lesson was nothing happens the way you plan it.
That's true. Namiria941 says, your people are there for you and have your back in a crisis. It's worthwhile to rely on those you trust.
Mm-hmm. Kaya Finn says her lesson, I'm not invincible. I have to take care of me. As bad as things can get, it can get worse. So appreciate things even in the bad times.
Yep. You don't know you're on a mountaintop unless you've passed through a valley. So,
yeah.
Yeah. Magic Myth Mayhem says depression and anxiety lie. This is topical.
Yes.
And nothing in society is absolute.
Yeah, so true. Zafira says, continue to be kind. Try your best because someone else behind the pixel may be having a very bad day.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, Shorel says that we know a lot less about how our bodies work than one might think. I know 3 different people who got long-term illnesses diagnosed by whether the medication worked.
Yeah. I just had this. I had a similar thing that happened to me today related to this. And it's a painfully hard lesson to accept that our medical professionals just don't know enough about our bodies to be able to fix everything. It's really frustrating.
Yeah, we hadn't gotten it done perfect yet.
No.
Oh.
No, it's just very frustrating. Sylvie says, don't give up or give in, even when you think it's the end. Even if you think you're taking your last breath. The world is a huge and complicated place, and what feels impossible to me could be a simple answer if I could just find the right person or the right doctor to ask.
Mm-hmm. Chilvada says, don't stay with an employer too long. Be brave so you can remember what you are worth.
Mm-hmm. Vashta said, I learned that even if you have friends and family that say they will help you anytime, you need to be prepared to do all the work or haul all the moving boxes yourself.
Yep. At Arbiter Fox says, you are in charge of your own happiness. You always have a choice, and don't let any make you feel guilty for the choices you make.
Yep. Stonegrasp says, I've learned that this is my social media feed, and I will control who the heck appears here. Trolls and derps will be muted everywhere.
Hear, hear.
Yep.
And finally, Queen of the North says, I've worked hard at being more outgoing this past year. Turns out interacting with people you don't know well can be great.
Yes, it is true.
Mm-hmm.
It is true. And it's hard, especially social anxiety, man. It's awful. It sucks.
Yeah.
But that muscle through a social anxiety situation to get to that point where you can interact with people, it's like, oh, this is so cool. It's so cool.
Yeah. That was me on New Year's because I was in a room full of people, like 30 people, and I knew 2 of them.
Ooh, that's
so
tough.
It was very. I'm if y'all have met me in person, I'm fairly kind of extroverted or I love meeting people. I'm very social, except when I don't know anybody and I'm outnumbered and I feel awkward and kind of like ee. So
Yep.
it was a little rough. I had to push through it, but it worked out all right.
Yeah. Good.
But yeah, those are awesome answers, guys.
They were really good answers. And thank you guys so much for contributing to Tell Us One Thing. We put those questions out on Discord, on Twitter, and if I remember, on Facebook. So you can answer them there. If you want your answer to remain anonymous, you can go to our email, which is questions@taurenthinktank.com, and you can email us there. It would be awesome to do that. And that, Mark Honan, is a show because I forgot to ask for /moves this week. So
well,
I know.
we know you guys and gals out there have been saving them up, so make sure to bring them for next week.
Yes, most definitely, because I did not remember to ask for them this week. Still kind of getting back into the normal schedule world, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of which, so what is going on with you in the upcoming 7 days? Anything that you are coming up with, working towards?
Oh goodness, just prepping for PAX South still, because I need to get all my stuff together. I got the hotel sorted, just making sure I've got enough time to drive to get down there and do all the things that I need to do. So yeah, that's the big thing. Again, and I pulled it up so I can be more specific this time. The Sunday of PAX South, which is Sunday the 14th, between 3 and 4 p.m. in the Armadillo Theater is where we're going to be speaking. That's Dr. Anthony Bean, Dr. Holiday Bean, Joel Christensen, and myself. We will be there. The panel's titled "Anxiety and Depression You Can Harness Furthering Yourself." Nice. So make sure you can come see it, or we will have it somewhere on the intertubes afterwards. Mm-hmm. So that's really the big thing going on. It's coming quick, so I'm trying not to panic. So we're trying to get it all sorted. Long drives.
I know. Well, you're intending to record the panel like you've done in the past, and then we would put it up on the feed as well as part of our podcast feed. So we're gonna aim to do that as well, so that we can pass along to all you guys too.
Yep. So awesome. Yeah, it's a big thing for me. What about you, Jules? I know you've been doing a whole lot of streaming. You've been doing some good work. You're putting in more work the next 7 days.
Yes. I have decided that one of my goals for 2018 was to stream more, and to stream more chainmail work. And so that's my primary intention. And if I decide I want to stream a game, if I'm playing with my friends, I can totally do that. But to stream more chainmail work. And so my next stream that I've got scheduled is going to be on Sunday afternoon. I think I'm going to start around 1:00 Central and kind of do the afternoon thing. Tentatively, my schedule is going to be Wednesdays and Sundays, maybe with a third day thrown in there, depending on how I'm feeling about stuff. I've been making this amazing chainmail fidget toy.
Yeah.
And I have one right here. I'm going to hold it up to the camera for them to see on the chat. It is the coolest thing. And that is
so awesome.
So addictive to play with. And so I've been making these on. Yeah, it's really mesmerizing. It's a rainbow. It moves. It swirls. And I've been making them on stream, so you can come by and see them. And I'm also selling them as well. So it is incredibly fun to play with. And come by, hang out on the stream. It's twitch.tv/JulesRPG, just like my Twitter. I play 80s music. Got cool little alert sounders and stuff if people follow or sub or donate. And so yeah, it's gonna be cool. Come by and do that. I will be on Nerf This coming up this Monday, I believe. I'm recording that segment tomorrow, talking about the new season of HGC starting on January 19th. So
awesome.
Yep, and you can also find me on Convert to Raid at some point. I don't know if I'm going to be on this coming week, but I'm considered to be a regular on that show now, so a regular cast member for Convert to Raid. So most definitely come by and listen to that, and some new stuff on the way. We're working on some stuff, so excited to share more as it comes through.
Sweet.
Yeah, but I'm really stoked about the streaming. I'm really enjoying it. It feels great. I have fun. So come have fun with me, even if you're doing other stuff like your WoW dailies or whatever. That's my spiel.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So, with that, unless you have anything else.
Not that I can think of. No, that's
all right.
That's it.
With that, we will bring this show to a close as we always do, just like this. Tauren Think Tank is a proud member of the Signals Media All-Star Network. Find out more about the other great shows of the network by going to signalsmedia.com.
Portions of the music and sound effects heard on this show can be found at incompetech.com and freesound.org. You can find us outside of the show on our website. That's taurenThinkTank.com, which has all of our podcasts and information on how to get in touch with us, too. And a new year, you need some new merch. So if you want some Triple T merch, which you might, you can find some T-shirts, some sweatshirts because it's cold, mugs for that warm cocoa, some phone cases, notebook and laptop cases, all that cool stuff. You can find at taurenThinkTank.com/store.
Thank you to all who support our show via Patreon. We have a whole lot of new stuff that's brewing for Patreon, and we can't wait to unveil it to you guys. So if you're thinking about becoming a patron, I promise you want to go do this because there's cool stuff coming. You can go to patreon.com/TaurenThinkTank to get in on the fun. If you'd like to meet other members of the Triple T community and hang out with them, talk to them, meet them, go to our Discord server. The quick way to get there is tinyurl.com/TTTchat2.
Mm-hmm. You can also like us on Facebook at facebook.com/ you guessed it, Tauren Think Tank. You can find us on Twitter for the show at Tauren Think Tank. You can find Jules at Jules RPG. You can find myself, Mark Conan, at Mark Conan Wow.
And we thank you all, chat room, for being with us tonight, being an excellent part of our show every night that we record, which is Thursdays at 8 o'clock Central Daylight Time. You can find the video stream, watch us live at twitch.tv/Tauren Think Tank as we record the show, or you can download us through all the podcast apps that you like, iTunes, Stitcher. We're on Spotify now, by the way.
We are.
It's
so cool.
It's on Spotify. So you can go check us out there too. Mark Conan,
Jules,
have a wonderful week, and we will be back next week, barring any crazy.
Yes.
Okay.
You have a wonderful weekend and a wonderful week yourself.
Thank you. And for myself, for Mark Conan, for the entire chat room, until next time. /moo, everybody.
/moo.
Tauren Think Tank. We make your problems less bad.
This podcast is a part of the Signals Media All-Star Network. For more information on this and other fine shows, go to signalsmedia.com. It's okay to stick our stuff in your ears. Really?
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 Whew.
Phew. Phew. We did it. We made it.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Wheelie, wheelie. I know, Jim. 2 months.
It
2
really.
months and 10 months to go.
Yeah, somebody said to me the other day, can it be BlizzCon yet? And I was like, yes, but no, because if it's BlizzCon, that means that I have to plan a Kickstarter, launch the Kickstarter, fulfill the Kickstarter, plan the party.
Secure everything for the party.
Secure everything for the party. And that just feels like the biggest marathon race to run right now, and it hasn't started yet. Yeah. And it's like, so much to do before we go back. But I really want to go back.
Yeah.
I want to go back to my friends. I miss my friends. Surreal finally meeting all your friends. I know.
And it was surreal finally meeting you too.
I know. That was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
You know, after how many years of talking,
mm-hmm.
That's the coolest thing about BlizzCon. And having you see it, there were a lot of people this year I got to experience BlizzCon for the first time. And
it's beautiful.
It's just it's a lovely, lovely thing to see.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's like watching a first kid's Christmas morning whenever they finally get it, like they get the Santa thing, and their eyes are just like. And you were on the Jumbotron. I saw you.
You were. Hi, Pasha. We're just wrapping up this show. We just finished up. We're just gonna wrap it up and do the thing. I really forced myself to not sit here and talk with this thing in my hand, because if I do, this is like I could just sit here and do this the whole time.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me.
And we summoned Pasha because of the BlizzCon talk. Yes, Pasha. Did you guys get really, really, really snowed in? Aw. Queen, it doesn't work here. That does not work in this chat room, my dear. I created a focus command because they kept telling me to stop. I'd show off as I'm making the fidget toy. I'd show off the completed one so people could see it, and I would just sit here and I would talk and I would do this in front of the camera. And so we made I made them a focus command in my chat room so that they could tell me to focus. And they love it.
Yeah, I like how Jim says you should hold it up to the camera and say like and follow.
Oh my gosh,
like and follow. Like Hypnotoad.
Jules RPG, twitch.tv/Jules RPG. Oh, you lost power a few times. Goodness gracious. My My dad said, I don't know if my dad's still here. They said they had 12 inches of snow already. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I'm the same way, Pasha. Mm-hmm. I haven't been to a whole lot of like other conventions other than PAX South. I'd really like to go to the other ones. I want to go to a Comic-Con. I don't think I've been to... I've been to Dragon Con, but not Comic-Con. Like any of those... Like the bigger ones, you know?
I would say Dragon Con is probably one of the biggest.
Woof. That is huge.
Yeah.
Gigantic.
I've never been.
It is a cluster. There.
I don't know if I would want to go to Dragon Con, to be honest. Like, I just think that's way too many people.
It's about 3 times the size of BlizzCon this past year. Because we broke like 30,000, and there were like 95,000 the year that I went. And it was just sea of people everywhere.
Yeah.
But really cool because I was like standing really close to like my favorite Star Trek actors and actresses, and went to the Futurama panel and all that. I mean, it's awesome to see the panels, but yeah. Well, and I met my favorite authors, so that helps.
Kalani, did you see that the things worked properly and Marcona could hear the sounds thanks to you?
I have sound again. I've been pantomiming dancing for the last couple of... How long has it been since that update?
It's been about 2 months, I think, you've been pantomiming the dancing, and now you don't... You can dance if you want to, but you can dance for real now.
Yeah.
You start college on Monday! Oh my gosh. That's awesome, dude! Congrats. So... Okay, Jim. We're saying this right now. You're starting college and you're super excited about it. So that means that in about, so it's January, April or so is when I expect that your social media is going to change to, what the fuck did I do? Why am I doing this? Because then it's getting close to like finals and stuff. And I mean that in the most kind way. But remember that this is the happy moment. I'm going to college, you guys. I'm going to college.
Ingrain it in your brain. Take a video. Be like, self, this is going to be awesome. Doing this thing. And then when you're neck deep and working on your finals projects, then just going to be replay that. Your positive message.
Going to be like Billy Madison. So I think we can share this with just the chat room. This won't be on the podcast thing, but chat room. Marconan and I have decided with our Patreon that we are going to add a monthly game night for all patrons. Mm-hmm. And so it doesn't matter what level, what dollar amount you pledge at. We're going to do a monthly game night every month. It's going to be, so we'll just get together and we'll play some games. So that's going to be one of the things we're adding. Furiously logs into Patreon. We wanted to do more community stuff. We're also considering, so we have a goal set. We haven't set the threshold yet, but we have a goal set that if we hit the goal, that we will either add another game night, second game night in a month, or a movie night. So, like, you guys can if we hit that goal, like, the patrons can decide what that is. Which I thought was
although we're not
really
watching
cool.
Human Centipede.
Oh,
please,
God, no. Jules and Marconan get the option of vetoing any movie based on their own personal preferences.
We have veto power. so no Human Centipede, okay?
Yeah.
Ugh.
But
gross. I like keeping my lunch in my belly.
Right. I think our Patreon is at 125 right now. And I think that we talked about... Did we talk about 200?
Yeah, that's what... Yeah, you had mentioned 200.
200? Yeah. So I think if we hit a goal of 200, we'll add that second scheduled night, whether that's, the movie... Is it 135? Did you just pledge?
Did you get an email?
Wait, I'm looking. Where's my email? Or maybe somebody changed that. I don't know. Patreon.com/Tauren Think Tank. Maybe. It hasn't let me know yet. Says we're at 125 right now. Oh, nope, there it is.
Uh-oh.
There it is. Thanks, Jim Beverly. You get
Thank
okay.
you,
Wait,
sir.
wait. Let's do a Jim Beverly dance. Should we do one for
Yes.
We'll do since we're on here. Let's do Jim Beverly dance.
Yeah. Okay. What's the specific dance or?
Hang on.
The music will determine the dance.
I'm gonna play some music, and should be able to hear this.
Didn't do any stretching.
Can you hear this?
No, I cannot.
Oh, okay. It's Let's Dance by David Bowie.
Oh. Put on your red shoes and dance the blues.
Yeah. I'll have to pipe it through the other one so you can hear it.
Yeah. Trying to do the sprinkler, but I have to back up.
You want to just
really fast the other way.
I have to put it on the other.
Yeah, you can. That's what matters.
Thanks, Jim. Hey,
Thank
you
you,
can.
Jim.
I will make you a keychain because that's part of your pledge tier. If you'd like a chainmail keychain, I can make that for you, or I can make a bracelet if you want to give that to Holly. It's up to you. We love you too.
Yeah.
Well, you came into the show like we were really, really deep and serious, and there were tears and stuff earlier.
Yeah.
Like super heavy shit going on in this show, and then you come into this where we're just like. So I'm gonna experiment with something and see if you can hear.
Okay.
Let's see if you can hear this. Hang on. Can you hear that?
Yep, I can hear that.
Okay, so I have to play it on the other computer for you to hear it.
Yeah.
That's what I need to do. I got it. Oh.
Say I didn't do a lot of stretching today. Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. So, yeah, today I had an appointment today to go to see an endocrinologist, which I made like a month and a half ago, something like that. And the reason I was going to see him was because I wanted to see if I was having issues with my hormones causing me metabolic like slowness and my metabolism, because I've been working out for 6 months and I've been eating better and all that stuff, and I've not lost any pounds, and it just seems really weird that I haven't done that. So and I saw this endocrinologist, and it was like the worst experience I had ever had. He didn't even he basically hit me with a cookie cutter, this is what you have to do to lose weight thing. And it was like, we will put you on a restricted calorie diet, and if you can prove that you can stay on it and lose weight, then I'll put you on an appetite suppressant medicine so that you won't want to eat much more and you'll lose more weight.
That's not good.
I was so frustrated. I was like, you're not taking into account any of my metabolic conditions. I have hypothyroidism. I have polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is like, I've got all kinds of hormonal imbalances going on with all that stuff. And nothing. Didn't care. Was like, nope, this is how many calories you're supposed to eat. I want you to write down everything that you eat, and you won't get that appetite suppressant medication if you don't stick to this. I was like, I didn't freaking ask for it in the first place.
Yeah. Instead of that, can I get a second opinion?
Well, and the problem with that is that to get the referral to go to see that doctor, I paid $300 to see my primary doctor. just to do that and to run some blood tests. And that is with insurance. So now I will have to pay them for whatever visit I just had, which was just a consultation.
Yeah.
And I'm so furious because I know it's going to cost me at least that, if not double, and it was a waste of my time. And it's money that I don't have. So I was just like, oh, so frustrated. So frustrated. So annoying. So anyway. I'm done bitching. Blah. I'm done bitching. As it happens, we spend 3 hours at the clinic and 15 minutes with the doctor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kidding.
Yeah.
No kidding. All right, my friends. We're going to get out of here. I'm going to work on posting the show. And have a wonderful weekend. Stay warm. Stay cozy. Mm-hmm. Don't hurt yourselves shoveling snow.
Moisturize your dry skin like my hands. They crack and bleed this time of year, so I have to make sure they're moisturized.
Every day.
Yes.
You got to do that. You live in such a humid climate that when you don't have that humidity, it's tough.
Yeah. I'm not used to the dry air. Got to get my humidifier working again.
I've got one running behind me. Yeah. In here, and I've got one running in my bedroom because it's just so dry. So
yeah, man, I remember at Snowbird I just filled that thing up because we were like
rooming with Deontay. He had his face into it, like he just stuck his face in it.
Delicious vapor
air. Good night, John boy. All right, you guys, we will see you. We'll talk to you next week. Have a wonderful rest of your week. /move, everybody.
/move, guys. Take care.